Welcome back, everyone, to the CUBE special presentation. I'm John Furrier here in the CUBE studio in Palo Alto. CUBE West is here in Palo Alto. The CUBE East is in the show floor of the New York Stock Exchange. This is part of our CUBE plus NYSE Wired community network presentation. All of our content's open source. Sue Shu is here, managing partner Amino Capital in Palo Alto. Sue, thanks for coming on the CUBE. Thanks for showing. Love the Stanford swag there, showing the colors.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
So talk about what you guys are investing in. Set the table, the firm. What are you guys looking at? What kind of investments you guys make?
Right. So Amino, we have been around for 12 years, and I was very lucky. I was the first employee at Amino 12 years ago, and before that, I was a PhD postdoc at Stanford dermatology department, and then I had a couple companies before, and then with my professor, accidental entrepreneur, and so what happened in Silicon Valley, and then I was trying to start my own company, but I met the Google image search inventor, Dr. Chu, and also Zoom's angel investor, Larry Lee, and then I asked them, what are you guys gonna do? So they said they're gonna start a fund. So they didn't like my idea, but they kind of liked the network that I had at Stanford. So I saw that was once in a lifetime opportunity, and then I spent money in the fund and then joined the fund. So since then, we have been laser focusing on early stage investment and focusing on data as mode and network effect as growth stage. So basically, we had almost like 400 investments, and we were angel investor of Chime Bank as first money, and now it's $25 billion. And then, I hope that it could be listed very soon. And we also angel investor of Rippling, also really, I'm not sure about the valuation anymore because it's so active. In the second trade, a lot of people are bidding, on top of each other, and definitely over 13 billion right now. And then we also angel investor of the Asian grocery shopping, now is $4 billion. So we have over 20 companies that actually reached the billion-dollar status right now.
Wow, that's great milestones. And so the investment, first of all, congratulations on
you.
those great successes. Again, this has been a great wave, but it's only bigger waves coming. So your investment thesis, you said, was data as a moat.
Yeah, right.
That's the current focus right now?
Yes.
What's the other theses that you guys have? Data as moat.
Right.
You see a lot of NVIDIA action around that. What else do you see?
So as we first got started, because of the Google gene of the fund, and then, in Silicon Valley, we always say data, data, data. Even AI now is data-driven AI, just like Professor Andrew Ng mentioned. So data mode, as you picked, is really, really important. But in the meantime, how do you get the data? So we have to have the killer application here. Like whether you're a ChatGPT, whether you're a Tesla, you have to sell something. So product is the second pillar. So you have the product to collect data, but you also have to crunch those data. So machine learning is the third pillar. So that's what we believe is the future of AI. Data plus machine learning plus products.
So you got to have the productization. I mean, ChatGPT was just a visualization of the data that was already out there. They just made it look like it then. That's what everyone saw. I mean, ChatGPT was fun because it educated all the people that didn't know what AI was, and they could actually visualize it. But there's a lot of work was going on beforehand.
Right.
And that led up to that. What's going on now from a technology perspective in PhD programs and master's programs in computer science in the universities that you think will help propel the next crop of innovation? Because as data comes out and there's more supercomputing capability, I mean, NVIDIA just announced yesterday another small supercomputer about this big. So the hardware's getting better, new software's coming out. What's in the PhD programs now that you're watching?
Oh, you're really up to date. I like that. So I feel like, NUPS meeting, just, it was previously called NIPS. So it just finished in Vancouver. So almost like everybody on my social network all went there.
They're all there,
yeah, they're all there. And then those for neural network. And then there is something else called CVPR. Those are for computer vision. So for very, very long time, and people felt like computer vision have much faster progression than natural languages, right? So you can see that, Tesla or civilians, and then or robotics. So those all based on computer vision. But because of ChatGPT, I mean, nobody actually predicted, large language model could actually work and, before ChatGPT. So even Transformer launched, nobody cared in Google. So all the 6 founders of Transformer, they left, started their own company.
No one cares about it. I'm not getting any love here. They
Exactly.
that's what they're like. Meanwhile, they had the keys to the kingdom.
Exactly. So nobody knew. And then the same thing, it's very, very difficult to predict. But the NEWS meeting, the recent CVPR meeting, their narrative was actually the end-to-end computer vision for robotics. So that's very, very important. That actually the reason why for other robotics company or autonomous driving company, they want to compete with Tesla, super difficult because they don't have the end-to-end solution.
The end-to-end workloads, and you mentioned the NEWS meeting, that's interesting, and computer vision, that's where all the energy is, because if you think about data, the world is visual, and that data is everywhere. So computer vision is much more a harder problem than just language. I mean, language is like trivial compared to vision. That's the world. And so ingesting that data is going to require massive inference. So all the machine learning pipeline at scale, engineers are there, the top processor folks are there, working on the next generation. So, I mean, diffusion's great, but like visualization is everything. That data set is massive.
Yes.
So if you're a car, if you're Tesla or anything, how do you guys see that market from an investment standpoint? Is there a big winner now that you see, or is it still open? I mean, we were just talking earlier in the last segment that Google's the late entrance in search. That came out of Stanford, everyone, but they just did it differently. Their algorithms, page rank over, simple at that time. But now, is there a computer vision play that we don't see yet in your mind?
So there's definitely more and more model. I feel like, Professor Fei Li at Stanford. So she actually raised hundreds of millions of dollars for research on a so-called world model, so which is 3D. So a matter of fact, I think she deserves it because she started the Google. She started the ImageNet. It's a playground for scientists all over the world to compete with each other. See who can actually see more accurate to tell a story of a picture. So that was 2009. She was like behind her own time. And then Dr. Chu, our partner, he started the Google image search in years 2000s. So you can see the horizon here is 10 years. So for a lot of people, not just Professor Fei Li, a lot of people wanted to build this brain for robotics. So we're betting on one of these companies as well.
Which one is that?
Oh, I'm not going to tell.
Come on. Okay, but robotics is, industrial. It's also the future robots. I mean, Jensen Huang said last year at GTC when I met with them one-on-one, he was talking about robotics, that we will see this in this decade, robots, like in serving humans. And not robots in factories. So we're going to see real robotics. Now we see things kind of go on the ground, but he's talking about real robotics. Like science fiction kind of robots. Hey, would you like another drink? Or hey, can I clean the house for you? Like he believes that we are going to have that neural brain in robotics.
Well, I think there were two horizons. I mean, two milestones here. The humanoid robotics is going to be probably in 10 years. But the immediate products we've already seen are products that already exist. For example, computer, they can actually be our agents. And then speakers can be robots. And then, if you ask, Amazon, Alexa is a robot. And then LG TV I'm using, it's a robot, right? So, and also cleaning bots. And also security bots. So those are the immediate products.
Yeah.
That's why investors, we love products.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to CES. I'm going to expect more and more so-called teleoperates robots.
Yeah.
For example, like in really dangerous places, and then you can have an operator and in here, and then you can operate a car in a very dangerous places. So that kind of robots will actually be very useful. Yes.
I have a PC here. It's a Mac. Actually, it's not a PC. It's a Mac. But it's a personal computer, I guess. PC is the wrong word. It's not a Windows machine. But the question has come up a lot, the AI PC. And I've been kind of, I won't say critical of the definition, but a personal computer was a personal computer. In the old days, it was a machine. That's all we had. Then you have mobile. Today, it's the LG TV. It's my toaster, maybe. It's my refrigerator. So whatever the computing relationship is to me is personal.
Yes.
So the question is, with robots and with devices, I mean, iMessage is great. It works here, it works there, but that's iMessage. I can't talk to an Android, so you have to use WhatsApp. WhatsApp is owned by Facebook. So like, is there going to be a personal computing paradigm that allows me to bring everything together without going through all these different silos? Again, this is the product and data conversation.
Products, yes.
So data silos don't help unification. But if I want to have one experience, I got to deal with Google, Facebook, all the different silos. What's personal about that? So I guess my question is, are you looking at investments and seeing this kind of productization of abstract away all these complexities, just give me my data? What's your theory on this?
I feel like Silicon Valley is the hotbed. The innovation actually always started with startups. So that is why, Google, they had the transformer technology incubated, but they have to rely on OpenAI to launch ChatGPT. And then they have this full energy, all these resources and investment into Gemini. So the same thing, what you want is actually something will require so many startups to actually bring it to you.
Yeah.
And it's very, very difficult to predict the future. Like Masayoshi-san, so he has this theory. Okay, for emerging market, emerging market, they have this time capsule. So I admire my fellow VC in emerging markets because they already know the answer. Silicon Valley competitive, right? So we have the answer for them. But as a VC in Silicon Valley, you and me, we can't predict the future. We are really like, nobody knows. Like our.
You get a time machine and go forward to the future and then come back like in the movie.
Yes,
know
please.
all the bets and win all the. But this is hard. But this is the point. I mean, the bets. It's hard to make the bets. You're in the betting business, but you have people on your team. I mean, Image Search, for instance, a 10-year span. What's his opinion of the computer vision wave? Because, I mean, it's accelerating. So if it's 10 years between the last wave. It's shrinking faster, so the signs are showing up faster, the markers. You can see the dots. Does he think it's compressed? What's the thesis on these investment cycles? It's 10 years, 7 years, 3 years. What are you guys feeling the vibe is? What is the forecast of accelerated timetable?
It's gonna be more diversified, and it's gonna be much better, much faster. I give you example. Before, and people will actually use computer vision to maybe just autonomous driving is one of the use case. Another one is probably robotics. That's it. But the next generation of computer vision is gonna be utility. Like Larry always say, AI is gonna be utility. It's everywhere. It's so cheap. It's very, very cheap. It's like building a house. If you're not using AI, it's like building a house. You don't have electricity. You don't have like water. So it's absurd. So it's gonna be everywhere. So all the sensors, all the cameras, and the API is gonna be so cheap. But in the meantime, how do you actually, the next generation of computer vision is gonna be different because you will have this generative AI. So meaning that it's going to be super personalized, and not just super personalized with your own data, and also it can generate how computer vision going to work for you. So that will be something that we'll have never seen before. For example, AI agent can do a series of actions for you. And before Gen AI, can be done.
Yeah,
That
the
can be
data
done.
problem was too hard. Now you get the data from. Sue, thank you so much for coming on. Now that we know you're in Palo Alto, we will stalk you for more CUBE interviews and tap your expertise, and love the Stanford jacket, showing the wares there, and congratulations on your
Save the tree.
successes.
Yeah.
Save the tree, yeah. Fear the tree, fear the tree,
Fear
save
the
the tree,
tree, yeah.
fear the tree. Yeah, Nerd Nation at its best. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
and
you for
again,
having me.
we'll swing by and check you back out and bring you back in next time.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm John Furrier here in theCUBE. Stay with us for our last segment after this short break.